Welcome back, Progenitor, Evacuator, and Acon fans. My name is Left Bauer. Today I'll be casting Round 2, Game 1 in the 4-Power 2-Balance Tournament. Today's game features Team Fleet Command on my left in the orange and blue, and Team Rage Against the Aliens in yellow and red on the right. On Team Fleet Command, we have Mon is an Advent Reborn, DannyVi.com on Visari Alliance in orange, Mephis Sa Diablo, who I'll refer to as Mephis for the rest of this cast, on Visari Alliance, and Smithy Moto on Tech Enclave in yellow. Today's map is played on a map Scrambler that we have not seen in a couple of games from other teams. So Scrambler is a 4-player map, and as you can see, it has spawn points where you can have one team on a side here, or you can spawn where you have teammates here and on left and right here. If it gets to spawn this way, you can see that there's a significant number of entryway paths into your opponent, and you can kind of just get into a stalemate right here in the middle. However, we're not going to see that today. So we have the other setup where we have two teams on each having kind of like, I'm going to call it the large sides of the map, and two choke points for both teams right here in the middle. Each team has their homeworld and two asteroids directly off of it, and then some tier 1 planets on the second layer of planets away from their homeworld. As you can see though, homeworlds are only 4 jumps apart, so there may be some early fights on this map. In the middle of the map, we have a tier 3 planet, crystalline on the left here, and a gas giant on the right. Now, uniquely, Visari can colonize a crystalline planet at tier 1 economy, and Advent can colonize a crystalline at tier 2 economy. Whereas with the gas giant, I believe all 3 factions in this game need tier 3 to colonize a gas giant. So I do not expect any of the teams to get to that point because this map is a small one and fights happen early. Mon is pushing forward here onto this ice planet with his Radiance start. Now he is going Radiance. I've seen a lot more Radiance coming out of teams as of late. It just feels like it's a good opener. Detonate Antimatter can deal substantially with capital ships because of the ability to silence capital ships and steal antimatter. And he may not have known if he was up against a Tech or a Visari when he started. Visari does have an antimatter related item that can top up their antimatter again, and early game Tech does not. So I think that this was a very good opening capital ship from him. So he's just going to continue to level that up. Now he's also colonizing in the back here with 7 disciples and his missionary vessel. Is he also going for the volcanic? He cannot afford it yet. So I don't know if he... Yep, he's going to continue going in. So he's dual expanding. Really like the play of getting these planets quickly and allowing your income to start rolling in that much quicker. We'll go up to Danny. Danny is going with just the solo evacuator. That's where he used his Tauronite. Is he has dropped the Vitra weapons lab on the home planet. So this item gives a +3 to warfare tech, and so Danny has the availability to go into tier 2 warfare already, but does not quite have the supply yet. Is currently supply blocked, but is going very heavy on defensors early. He's already got 12 queued up, so that's a significant number of defensors. Does have the 2 asteroids, and then now this ice planet in the back, grabbing his volcanic research and then grabbing his Arctic shortly after. Looks like he is bidding on this metal supply of 500. On the other side, we have Smithy Moto. He has chosen to go with a Sova start. Now, we have not seen very many Tech players go with the Sova thus far. Sova used to be much stronger, I think, when bombers were more prolific. and more fighters were more prolific. So just as a refresher of what the SOVA is able to do is it has deploy missile battery, which lets you drop literally a structure in the right in front of the SOVA, and this missile battery will shoot at any ship nearby, and it does a decent job of grabbing neutral ship aggro, so it kind of will tank a little bit for your own fleet. Mass production looks like he has not leveled this ability yet. Should it be used on a planet, it allows ships to be built quicker there and allows orbital structures to be built quicker there for 60 seconds on a 4-minute cooldown. And then the mobile Corvette factory, which allows you to build Corvettes directly on your SOVA. So you don't have to wait for a light factory to continue to build them. And then Memphis, also on Visari Alliance, looks like he has the evacuator for skirmishers and has not spent any of his exotics yet. I think for the most part, what we've seen out of most of the other Visari players is that 3-cap opener. Those 3 capital ships, oh, looks like he's going to go with a metal extractors here on this planet. Does not have the metal income yet to deal with it. Anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about the map. So the neutral factions on this map is the pirates, and they have access to boarding crew and smuggler's den. Pirate wager is a nice little resource bump should you need it. And then if you get all the way up to 10 influence points, you have pirate raid. I don't expect to see it come into play in this game. That's usually a fairly late game investment to get to that level of influence. We also have the Pranist United, which has the emergency Gauss platforms, which you can drop at any planet that needs any little bit of extra defense. You can drop it on a friendly planet. You don't have to just drop it on your own. And you can have 3 per gravity well and 15 in the entire empire. And it will do decent damage to capital ships. One of the nice things about it is that for Visari, like the phase missile platform can be intercepted by point defense, and this gives you an option to not be point defensed by enemies. There's also unassailable fortress and armored citadel should we get that far to keep a ship in crippled hull that much longer if necessary. And then last but not least, we have the Virturac Transport Cabal, which has remote fabrication allowing you to build your ship items quicker on anywhere where you can warp it in. There is the jump field stabilizer that allows you to ignore phase jump inhibitors should one of the players get to phase jump inhibitors, and it allows you to jump 4 seconds quicker instead of doing a full 8-second charge time. And then arguably the best ability out of most of the minor factions in this game is remote tachyon boost. Gives you a 75% move speed bonus and turn speed bonus to a planet of your choosing for 6 points, and lasts for 1 minute with a 2-minute cooldown. Do see Memphis sending his evacuator here into this ice planet. Now there are 2 Gauss platforms down. What's he going to do? Is he going to stop to shoot them? No, he's more worried about the assembly drones. Nope, now retargets onto the Gauss platforms. Does he have repair? No, he does not have repair yet. Sends the evacuator at the planet, but those Gauss platforms have already chunked it to half health. So they're doing a significant damage, and skirmishers are not going to chew through turrets in any manner. Continuing to try to kill it, but like I said, they just don't do enough damage. 600 durability on these turrets and only 200 pierce on these skirmishers. What would that be? Come on, Power, quick math. I think it's 20% damage at 14 DPS, and that's only going to be 3 DPS per skirmisher. That's just not going to break through the armor and the shield here, and that didn't even account armor. That was just durability. But all these skirmishers coming in, is Memphis going to stick around? Nope. Now there's the retreat. Full retreat. It's 13 skirmishers and a level 2 evacuator going back to this volcanic. So we'll take a quick stock of what's going on here on the map. Mon does have his 6 pocket planets. Looks like Danny's up to 7 here. Kind of used that pirate base as a little bit of a defense for this planet for himself, and choosing to grab this last to probably protect it, should that be the reason. So Memphis does have 24 skirmishers at this point, and is starting to go into wardens as well. Is he supply blocked? No, he's just waiting on the blueprint to finish researching. But then Memphis on 4 planets here, and it looks like Smithy on 4 planets up top now gets his 5th on this ice. Would really like to see him have a little bit more supply of fleet here, but he is completely tapped on resources. He spent a lot of time on the trade ports. Does have the 4 trade ports up, so he's likely going to just wait for this income. As we've reached the stalemate of this map, Team Fleet Command currently has the income advantage at this point with all the planets they have. So we do see a push here from Mon. All of these ships coming in, but they've got a bunch of skirmishers waiting for them. Is there also a turret? Yeah, there's 2 Gauss defense platforms down as well. Those are going to shoot at this Radiance. Is this evacuator in trouble? We've got fights on 2 fronts. Looks like this evacuator is running backwards. Did it cast anything before it got silenced? No, it's out of antimatter, but it did get subspace rupture down, missed most of the ships in the back here. And these Gauss platforms are just going to keep chunking this Radiance. Is this Radiance in trouble? I think this Radiance is going down to crippled hull. Yeah, it's going to crippled hull. And now there's just 24 skirmishers with a bunch of disciples and tempests and acolytes to deal with. But Mon thinks better of it and gets out, so we'll check a fight on this side. Looks like Smithy's losing all of the frigates here. He's got a couple of Cobalts left, but 56 defensors coming out of Danny Vi. There's just not enough Gardas here, and there's not enough aircraft to deal with it. But it looks like Danny's retreating here because he's got pirates on his volcanic, and so he wants to protect that planet. So maybe that'll give Smithy a chance to regroup on his fleet. But Memphis is coming in. He is going to focus fire directly at this Radiance. Is that a new one? I have never seen energized space before. That is interesting. Alright, so all of the ships do additional damage in this gravity well, and these skirmishers are going to chase this Radiance down. I don't know if that's the right play. He looks like he's got through the shield. He looks like he is through the armor. I don't know if there's enough damage here to finish this off, but it is heavily crippled. Additional wardens coming in from Memphis. Are they going to get there? This evacuator is just a little too far. Doesn't quite have gravity warhead yet. It needs another level. Is this going to go down? I think it's going to get out with 700. Yep, gets out with 725. So just enough. Memphis now does turn directly on these Tempests, knowing that this is where the damage lays. Or I'm sorry, the resources lay. Tempests are exceedingly expensive for Advent early game. So taking his damage dealers and putting them directly at the ships that cost the most. Looks like 1 down for sure, and Memphis looks to be retreating his fleet at this point. Is there a reason why? No. Just thinks better of it, seeing a level 1 capital ship coming in, decides now's not the time to fight. So back to everybody's home planets, back to seeing if they can get the resources. So Memphis up at 17.3 and 4.5. Danny at 14 and 5, but 5 additional credits. Mon at 28, 7, and 9. And Smithy at 35, 4, and 5. So there's the fleet going back. Come on, evacuator, get out. And it does. So back to the drawn lines. Looks like everybody's just kind of going to see what they can add to their fleets. It looks like Memphis is adding. Is he adding Canrex? He is adding Canrex. He has 13 Canrex queued up and 9 already built. Danny's going in on this side. Looks like Smithy has not quite gotten all the ships out he wanted. He does have the Corvettes out, but 63 defensors are going to chew these up very, very quickly. And all of these Gardas were on the wrong side of the gravity well, so they're not even going to be of assistance. But there's not enough count to help. And all of these Cobalts are going to die. All of these Shurikens are dead. And all that's left are 5 Gardas and 1 Sova carrier. Sova needs to get out of here because it is not going to survive against this swarm of frigates. Just checking there's no fights on the other side. So Smithy does have a Marza out. Where is the Marza? It's on its way in. Marza's, again, heavy missile damage ships. However, with all of those defensors, I don't think that a single missile is going to get through. Danny has a Scarantra out now and 2 Overseers. I love seeing the Overseers. I think they're a little underutilized myself. Usually because boarding crew is a significant threat for any faction to have to deal with. Nothing on the other side. So this Sova is just going to get chased down by some raiders. Where are the rest of the ships? So the defensors, where are they going? Does he have pirates to deal with again? He does. So additional pirates on the planet. And so Danny is jumping back some of his forces. Looks like he's leaving 3 skirmishers. Nope, 16 skirmishers. Nope, I was right the first time. Just 4 skirmishers trying to deal with a capital ship. The Marza is now here, and unfortunately these Gardas are focus firing on the evacuator. Gardas just do not do damage to capital ships. Unless you've got a ball of 100 of them. So all these Gardas are about to go down, but I think the more interesting fight is going to be over here between Memphis and Mon. So there are 29 to 30 Canrex out at this time. Memphis, he does get down the gravity warhead, so all of these capital ships are completely stuck here for another 10 seconds. Is he focus firing? He is focus firing with all these Canrex. Is this Radiance going to be killed off by Mon? It looks like it is not going to survive, so that Radiance is down. And there is another Radiance here that looks like it's going to be focus fired. It's only level 1, so it does not have the life that the first Radiance had. Looks like he's trying to grab the wreckage. He did, and he is getting this Radiance out. It's also at significant damage. It almost got to crippled hull. So what are we shooting at next? So all the Canrex now shooting this Revelation, and Skirmishers dealing with the Tempests very quickly. Warden's just doing everything they can to shoot every missile down. So these Tempests are doing nothing, but these Canrex are doing so much damage to these capital ships. Really like the play. So that Revelation is into half crippled hull, so doing a lot of damage there. Smithy needs to get this Sova out, but I think it's a little too late for this ship. And this Marza is just not doing any damage to these capital ships. The Evacuator's taking a little bit of damage, but as you can see, every missile gets caught off over here. The Sova goes down to, looks like mostly just defensors and raiders and skirmishers. So just losing this to light damage ships. Would really like to see him go back here and regroup. But looks like we have a more interesting fight over here. Where are these Canrex going? Where's Memphis going? Is he going at the home planet? Memphis has sent his fleet at the desert. Interesting play. I don't think there's much there, and he's only got 7 DPS worth of bombing. There's not much that's going to happen here. But looks to be turning the Canrex around. He wants to kill off this Revelation. Focus firing the Revelation. Do we have animosity on these? Not on level 1. The level 2 has animosity. Would really like him to use the animosity to pull the Canrex off the Revelation, but the Revelation does go down. And yes, these these skirmishers and wardens and the evacuator are all heading towards that desert planet. So very interesting play here from Memphis. While the Canrex continue to shoot at this now level 3 Radiance, there's enough of them here. This is going to go into Crippled Hull after this volley, I believe. There it is. And these Canrex, there's still 20 of them left against this one Radiance. Down to Crippled Hull. Is it going to get the shield burst off? It is not. This only needs a couple more shots and it's going to go down. Shield burst does not go off, and the Canrex secure another capital ship kill. That's, I believe, 4 capital ships now. No, 3 capital ships down for Mon Mon. Is this Radiance going to make it? Yes, there's too much firepower here. These Canrex are just tanking the Gauss platforms, tanking all 30 of these Disciples, all 10 of these Tempests. These Canrex are about to go down. They will not kill this additional capital ship. Alright, Smithy now has an additional Sova up. Again, with all those defensors, would really like to see Garda play coming out on that side. Have not seen it yet, but it does not look like he has the income to support it. And he's going Cobalts and Shriekens into all those defensors. So unfortunately, I think this side, there's some significant turret play. It looks like there are 3 Gauss platforms down, so maybe they'll be able to deal with these 2 capital ships. But Danny does have the Tussarak Raiders, and they are extremely good at killing off turret structures for the Advent. Now we do see Memphis grabbing some Destructors. Have not seen Destructors very often in this tournament thus far, and he does have 3 of them. It looks like they're going through the turret line here, so they're going to take damage from all 4 of these turrets as well as this level 3 Radiance. I don't see how these are going to do enough damage to kill off this planet, so I think Mon Mon's just going to clean those up. While we do have all of these Skirmishers and Wardens on this side, trying to kill off this greater factory, while this level 4 evacuator is slowly going through this desert planet. Does kill off the greater factory, and it looks like he is going to focus fire down these Disciples. Really, these Tempests are no threat. There's not enough of them, and these Wardens are just going to continuously point defense down every single one of these missiles. So Memphis correctly identifying that the Tempests are the Disciples are the threat, and looks to be one by one clicking through them to slowly kill them off. Good focus fire. What's going on the other side? Alright, so we do see Smithy is trying to fight on this side with all of these Cobalts. Too many defensors though, and there's just a bumblebee swarm of orange and green coming out on this side. Sova did get up to level 2, does have the deploy missile battery available, and does he have the other ones researched? There's the mobile Corvette factory, but looks to not be building the Corvettes, and all of the turrets are going to go down. All of the Cobalts are dead, so it's just the Sova remaining on this side. While Mon Mon does take his fleet out, and it looks like Memphis is going to continue chasing on this side. Skirmishers come in. What's he going to fire at? He's going to try and kill off these Tempests as quickly as he can. Now they can't... Skirmishers can chase down Tempests. The speed difference... There is a speed difference of 960 versus 800. But unless they're focus firing exactly appropriately and they're not group firing, they're unfortunately just not quite going to be able to make it. So Smithy is losing this Sova. Did not get it out in time, did not jump it away. And so Danny's going to continue pushing on this side of the map. But Mon Mon does have a level 2 Revelation here. Does have his level 4 Radiance here. Is he going to cast Animosity? Yep, cast Animosity on the Skirmishers. He's going to let the Wardens jump through. So all of those Skirmishers Did not mean to lose that. Sometimes the game locks on stuff. So that animosity, it is a level 2. It is a 30-second duration. So these skirmishers just now getting out of the lock-on from animosity, so they're going to jump out. Mon, are you going to turn around? Alright, Mon is going to send his fleet after this evacuator. The evacuator's slowly chewing through everything here and continuing to do nice damage to the home planet. But the income is not really affected. It's only lost 50 population. So some of it's losing, but it's just not enough right now. So Memphis does have a bunch of Canrax over here trying to kill off these greater factories. The real threat, though, is these turrets. He's still in turret range, so just taking too much damage there. And Smithy is sending a level 1 Marza in, trying to deal with these ships here. Again, this is not going to be enough. One capital ship versus all these is just cannon fodder. So continuing to build from his home planet. Would like to see some structures up. Looks like he does have level 3 defense, but just does not have the income really to support what he needs to build these ships. Meph is running away his evacuator. Mon looks to be sending his entirety of his fleet now after this evacuator, trying to catch it out, while this ice planet is back to full health. Looks like those original destructors got killed off, and so the planet has regened back to full health and full population, so it's going to start over, bombing it again to deal with it. Alright, Danny pushing in here on Smithy. Smithy's down to 15 supply. Last 2 Gardas are going to go down. So he's down to 7 supply. It's 1 Cobalt, 1 Scout. This home planet's just going to die very quickly. So really what's left is, can Memphis get this evacuator out from this fleet? Are we going to lose? Is this evacuator going to die before this game is over? Slowly losing health. He does have the shield regen, so I like that. It'll regen while it's in warp. And there's no way to get, unless he gets through the shield, he doesn't touch the armor. The armor's going to regen. There's the shield regen while in warp. It's almost like a free 100 shield. And that is a stroke of luck, because now Mon has to jump his fleet through this asteroid, because this evacuator jumped just after the phase lane changed. And so now Mon has an additional planet he's going to have to jump his frigates through and his capital ships through. So I believe that this evacuator is going to get out, because 1 Sentinel and 1 Acolyte is just not going to kill off a capital ship. Additional pings coming out from Memphis. Looks like he has killed off the greater factories here with these Canrax. There's the GG now from Memphis. And that will be game 1 of round 2 between Fleet Command and Rage Against the Aliens. We will see you for game 2 shortly.